Welcome to my Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. Join Larissa and Malerie as they explore biohacking tips for women based on the latest science and research available today. Let them help you unlock your best self. It's time to hack smarter, not harder, together.
All right, welcome. We are here today based on a request from one of our community members. They wanted to know about how they can improve their hair and nails. And that is a hot topic. It's a billion-dollar industry, but it's a hot topic not only amongst our fans and our listeners, but definitely among women out there. Actually, I shouldn't say it's not even just for women. It's men and women, right?
Right.
But for us, we want to focus on women because that's what our mission is to help women hack their health. So we're going to focus on how it contributes and how women can change their lifestyles and diets to offset their hair and nail success. The science is quite clear about the indicators in the internal health, and we'll give you tools that will actually help you immediately work on improving your hair and nails. And just a quick over.
Sorry, you said nasal. I was like,
are you surprised?
No, I just had to make fun of you for it.
That's so funny. All right, just a quick overview on hair and nails. They are keratin-based, which keratin is a protein, and your hair goes through cycles. And for new hair to grow, it takes an average of 16 weeks. So 4 months to 6 months to actually see any hair growth. So once you experiment and you try something, make sure you're patient because it does take several months for your hair to cycle through. It is not a quick fix. It is definitely something that is slow and steady. Like think of the turtle, slow and steady to see results. So if you're going to expect an overnight success, just get prepared for that right now. That's not going to happen. The science behind that is very clear. It will not happen. Hair grows very slowly, but nails are a quicker growth. So you can see more in your nails quicker. But just so you know, hair, even if what you're doing, maybe you'll take one of our suggestions and start, it will take 4 to 6 months before you see new growth or a change in your hair thickness or shine or all the other things we're going to talk about today.
Right.
Just as an interesting fact, the average person has about 100,000 to 150,000 hair follicles on their scalp, and each is capable of growing up to half an inch per month under ideal conditions. The key word being ideal. So if everything's perfectly aligned, then you'll only get a half an inch.
Yeah. Super fascinating. I'm really glad that actually somebody requested this because hair has always been nothing that you need to worry about, Larissa, because let's all admit right now that she has glorious hair. Okay. We all know it. I actually showed my hairstylist while she was doing my hair a picture of us, like our podcast photography that we had done. And the first thing she said, she was like, "Oh my gosh, she has amazing hair." And I was like, I know, right? I was like, this is my sister. This is what I have to stand next to.
We're genetically related.
How does this happen? Anyway, sorry. Venting aside, figuring out how to have thicker hair has been a lifelong pursuit for me, let's be honest, because we'll get into all the reasons why we have issues with our hair. But really what it is that when we're talking about women's health, your hair and your nails do reflect, they're kind of like a warning sign or a red flag showing of really what's going on in your body. And so, strong and vibrant means that systems are, humming along and they're doing great. And issues often point to, hormonal, nutritional, or stress-related shifts. And so I think about when I was younger, like high school, we've talked before about how terrible my diet was when I was in high school. And I would get sick all the time. So I had immune system problems because I literally did not eat anything nutritious. I had a candy bar for breakfast, McDonald's for lunch, and I think like cheese fries for dinner. I don't even know how I survived, Larissa. It was crazy. But what I will say is that it showed in my hair and my nails. I had flaky, thin nails, and my hair got really thin by the time I graduated high school. So just in a couple of years of really bad nutrition when I started to be able to, I had a job and I had a car and I started to really take care of myself. I did a terrible job and it showed up in my hair and nails. So that's a very real thing. I was having nutritional deficiencies, right? So something to consider that's unique to women is that estrogen is what promotes the growth and the thickness. And this can be what drops during major things in a woman's life, like postpartum or perimenopause, menopause, high stress periods, and these can accelerate changes with your hair. So that's something to anticipate as, your life progresses. The other thing that I thought was interesting in our research is that collagen production can drop up to 30% during major hormonal shifts, which affects our skin and hair and nails. So, scalp health is also very big, right, when it comes to your hair health. So, all of these things do interrelate, having just done, our skin episode.
And I was surprised in doing this research that you have a biome in your stomach, right? So you have your biome, you have a skin biome, and you actually have a scalp biome, which who would have guessed? I never would have associated that. And one of the specialists we heard about, which I can't quote right now which one it was, but they said that once a week we should be hydrating. We should be washing with a dandruff medicated shampoo once a week just to hydrate our scalp.
Yeah,
And I was like,
that was
that's
really interesting
fascinating and easy
and
to
the
do.
microbiome thing, it really does make sense because everything has a microbiome on our body, right? But the fact that it's so specific on your scalp, it's actually different than the rest of your skin or your internal microbiome. So not using harsh soaps were some of the things that I noted. Don't use really harsh cleaners. And there's a lot of things that we'll talk about, but just so you guys know, the people who we're really relying on as our specialists here, we've looked at stuff from Andrew Huberman, Dr. Mindy Pelz, Gary Brecka, Dr. Mark Hyman, and Dr. Stacy Sims. So that's kind of like the group of people that have had a lot to offer in the scientific and biohacking world that really we're relying on as our specialists here.
Yes, I love all of them.
I know, I do too.
And so a lot of them really talked about how your nails and your hair are a warning sign or trigger for things that are going internally. So what you were saying earlier, it's almost like a thermostat in what's going on in your body. And so when you look at that, it's really helpful for you to take those signals and do further research and investigation on it for various things. So some of the warning signs that you can look for are hair shedding. If you shed more than 100 strands of hair a day, and 100 strands is a lot. So one of the doctors was saying how patients would bring bags of hair that they had lost. And even though it felt like it was a lot, because maybe of hormonal shifting, they might have lost at that time period, but really overall, it wasn't something to worry about. And so that was kind of, I was like, oh man, something to look forward to.
Because like 30 to 50 strands a day is normal. Like that's average shedding, right? So it's really, if you have more than 100, or if you have like noticeable thinning at the crown or like a wider part, and then also like dullness and breakage, right? Which is what I've noticed is like, I feel like my hair gets dull and things like that.
And also like a bald spot, like if you get a certain spot where you're losing hair, like those are hair signs that there's something, not firing correctly, that's not working together. So that's a warning sign to definitely get that checked out. And by the age of 50, up to 40% of women experience noticeable hair loss. That's crazy, 40%. Yeah. And then by age 65, around 50% notice significant hair loss or notable hair loss. And so that is definitely a real thing to keep in check. And that kind of makes sense with the age groups, because as you go through perimenopause and menopause, the hormonal shifts are changing. So that kind of makes sense where you kind of have to reevaluate your hormones and get your blood work and figure out where you're at to kind of move forward with that.
That is so true.
Yeah, right. So then the next thing to look for, so you're looking for hair loss greater than 100 strands a day. And then is your nails. So your nails, like if you have brittleness or splitting or ridges or white spots or any kind of discoloration on your nails, that is a clue into something is also not right. So brittle nails affect about 20 to 27% of women and is often more prevalent than in men due to factors like frequent water exposure and hormonal influences. So women are usually, their hands are in water or they're washing or cleaning or various things. So because they're they're in water exposure more often. And also, again, what we talked about with their hormonal influences and their cycle syncing and all of that impacts your nails. So that's something to be aware of.
How do your nails look right now? Like, I literally do have ridges on my nails. But we know that I have been iron deficient, which iron is one of those things we'll talk about today that can affect your hair and nail growth.
That is definitely a signal. So nutrient deficiencies is like what you just said. Iron affects up to 50% of women in some form. So thyroid issues also affect women, inflammation, and chronic stress. All of those can clue into your nails
and your hair.
And your hair, exactly. But the iron is the number one key thing to definitely look at. Thyroid issues, if you have thyroid and inflammation, obviously, I feel like inflammation is the catalyst to almost every single issue that women have.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's huge everywhere. But even when we were doing our skincare research, inflammation was such a big factor for premature aging. So it makes sense that it would also affect your hair and your nail growth.
So then when you do that once a week, showering your scalp massage with the medicated anti-dandruff shampoo, that will help with inflammation.
Oh, interesting.
So just a side note, we are very, very nutrient deficient. Gary Brecka, the human biologist, says that we are very, very nutrient deficient, and we get the expression of these nutrient deficiencies through our hair and nails. So we have to make sure that we are very aware of what we eat. Food is medicine. If we're not eating the right things, it's going to show in our hair and our nails. So we have to make sure that we are feeding it the right fuel. And also external factors like tight hairstyles, which I never thought about this, but one of the researchers said, or our doctors said, she's like, you need to have, for women, if you wear it back in a tight bun for a special occasion, that's okay. But you shouldn't wear it back all the time. You should have loose, easy going hairstyles, because if you pull it back the whole time, it'll pull tight on the bulb or the bulb. It's called the bulb, is the beginning of the follicle. Will eventually it will pull out, and then it will take. And so eventually it will, decrease the area wherever it's pulled really tight.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
that makes sense. I mean, like, I've been trying to grow mine out, and since I do chemically treat mine a lot, I have to baby it. And so I don't do ponytails anymore, funnily enough. I do very gentle on the scalp, gentle on the hair. But it's really good to know that I am doing all the right things.
Yes. And with coloring, obviously they don't say don't do it, because millions of women are going to definitely color and treat their hair. But they do say try to go longer in between your sessions, so that gives your hair more time to recover.
Yep. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of research into this, actually. Some types of shampoos and things that can help remove pollutants and stuff like that from your hair, like filtered shower head. There's a lot of things that you can do to really protect your hair that I didn't even know existed until I started to do this research.
Well, many hair products has biotin in it. They advertise biotin and all this stuff. And a lot of the doctors said that they actually would not recommend you doing that, because if you're not deficient in biotin, it's not going to make an impact. And then if you get a surplus of biotin, then it can negatively affect you.
Oh,
so it was interesting. So if they were like, if you're spending tons of money on products with biotin, they say stop. More of the basic, simpler shampoos that are organic in nature, those are great for your hair. But all the ones with all the fancy chemicals and all that stuff, it's not really impacting your hair. In fact, it could be doing the opposite effect.
Yeah, I know it's the same way with keratin too, right? Like my hairdresser is always telling me to avoid having too many products with a lot of, I think it's keratin in it too. So it's fascinating, the stuff that marketing out there tells us we need, right? And we don't necessarily. And so it's really nice to hear from scientists and doctors who, that can just help us navigate this, right?
Well, and really the marketing is preying on our weakness. Like if you are thinning, if your hair is thinning and it's breaking and you're freaking out about it, which so many women do, because that's our I don't want to say a trademark, but it is who we are, right? Your hair is part of who you are.
Big part of our self-image. Yes.
Yeah, self-image. And so to market on our weakness, that's what they're doing. So pretty much it's more of what you do, just like when you're growing a plant, for example. You don't water the leaves you water the roots, and what the
Right.
nutrients absorbed through the roots is what's going to come out in the plant. So if you're just putting water on your hair, that's really not getting inside your hair. You have to really, what you feed your body, how you handle stress, what you do internally is what's going to help your hair externally, right?
Yeah, right. Because your hair is just that's your signal, right? And so you've got to do all the things right so that your signals are better and healthier and more luxurious. We all want the luxurious.
Yeah. And for example, Dr. Hyman said all the decades of low-fat diets left us deficient in key fats and proteins that leave our hair and nails dry and brittle. So that is so interesting because really you have to have, what is it, 80 to 100 grams of protein, and that's what builds your hair, right? It's all protein based. And then you have to have your omega-3s and to coat it, to have the oil that coats the outside of it and protects your hair as it grows out. So it's a very perfect balance of what we eat is going to really work together as a team to make our hair as fabulous as we can get it.
Which really scares me because all the new directives coming out that I'm hearing about protein, like they're talking about you need to have like what is it, a gram of protein for every pound of like your desired body weight, if not more, right? So and I was like, okay, that's a lot of protein. So when I started to kind of track what I was naturally eating in a day, just to figure out like, where am I just not paying attention and just eating every day versus where do I need to be? Marissa, I was only getting like 50 grams of protein a day, maybe. And that was me being health conscious, And I'm like, that's insane. It freaks me out to think about how much that contributes to your hair health and to your nail health, that I'm like, well, no wonder so many of us struggle with feeling good about our hair and nails when we are not given the right information. You know what I mean? Like for so many years, this like low fat, just the whole diet industry, I feel like has just made it so much worse for so many of us.
Well, even going forward with that, even with the fasting lifestyle, right? That's one of the common complaints about the fasting lifestyle is because if you fast and you have a shorter eating window, then you physically can't eat enough protein for your day to be in that window. So it is definitely a crunch, so you definitely have to be very, very active and very precise about where you're getting your protein, how you're getting it to kind of squeeze that in, which is why I love my chocolate bone broth.
Oh, because you still need to send me the link for that.
Oh, I should. I'll put it on our website because it is my favorite.
That's a good idea.
It is literally my favorite. It tastes like chocolate. It's a little more on the expensive side, but it's from Sweden. It's grass fed. It's all the things.
Oh, good.
And it's all approved by all the healthy people. It is great, but it's like they have a vanilla flavor, they have a chocolate flavor, and then they have an unflavored. And I love the chocolate flavor because I milk it. I literally milk the cows. I don't do that. I have, but not in this situation. But it is great because you mix it with milk and then you drink it, and I feel like it's a treat. So instead of a dessert, I have that, but it's an easy way to get 21, 22 grams of protein in.
Oh, I love it. That's really how my life revolves now, is good sources of protein. Like that's the foundation of my, like, the way that I eat now, because I'm learning how much that makes such a big difference. And that does give me hope, because that's something that we can actively change, each of us, right?
Yeah.
And it not only helps your hair and nails, but it helps you everywhere. So that's great. Just scary to think about how little I used to eat. And most people don't eat that much, right? Like it's just never been
and I
really
think
big focus.
women, historically, what does society tell us we need to do? We need to be skinny. Our hair needs to look good. Our house needs to be clean all the time. We have to have the perfect kids, and they have to have great grades. Like there's so much society pressure. I should say it is changing, so it can be put on men and women. But and historically, it's been on women, and so you have a lot of pressure to put all of that together.
Yeah, it's really. Oh, it is just crazy. So this has been a rabbit hole for us. Before we move on, let's talk about a few things that surprised us in our research, because I do love to come up with the little interesting tidbits that we find along the way.
All right. My interesting and surprising thing was women spend twice as much annually on their hair as men on their hair care, I should say, on their hair care as men. And yet many overlook internal factors like hormones, nutrients that drive most issues.
Wow. Yep. That's a good one. It is funny because we'll buy any product, but we don't. It was the same way with when we were researching skin. Like it really starts with the way that you're treating your body internally, and the external is just a reflection of that, right?
Yeah.
And so we don't think about that. We just want to buy the next product that's going to miraculously fix it.
And that's what the marketers know.
That was me. So the interesting thing that I found was that scalp care trends exploded recently, right? Like searches for scalp serum surged 77% from 2024 to 2025, which is showing a shift towards treating the scalp like skin for better hair health, which I think is promising. But that's not even a concept that I had thought about. So it was interesting to see that this isn't a trending thing now.
Yeah, I love that because that is getting closer to the root cause versus just the
We're
outside.
getting there.
Yeah, the growth.
We're getting there. They're just ahead of us, or ahead of me anyway.
All right. Someone with alopecia respond positively to testosterone therapy, and this challenges the idea that androgens are always the enemy. So it's all about balance. So 63.2% in the study said that the testosterone therapy helped, and it's a misnomer. Like in women, we think that we don't want testosterone, but really we need it, and it can actually help us with different hair issues like alopecia.
Right. We want it if we're deficient in it, right? The idea being about hormonal balance. And so when your testosterone levels drop as a woman, that's different than with men. It's all about our levels and whether it's balanced or not. And so if you are low in testosterone and getting that back up to a normal level, I could totally see that helping. So that's fascinating.
And that's why, when we've said this many times in every podcast, that's why going to get your blood work matters. You need to know where you're starting at, because what if you're not low? What if you are low? You need to know the baseline so you know what to fix and where to go from there, because it could be a quick fix.
Yeah, you got to test, don't guess. Absolutely. Yeah. And it can answer a lot of questions. So the interesting thing is that I've been anemic and my testosterone was low. So I have a lot of hope for the next 6 months for my hair, Larissa.
Well, give it 4 to 6 months before you even after you do your intervention.
I'm not even thinking about it till like later this year. But if my hair suddenly starts to look gorgeous, everybody, we know why. Okay.
It could be twins.
Okay. Speaking of which, so the hair, it does take you a long time to see results. It's just consistent change, right? You got to give it enough time to take effect and to see the difference. But fingernails grow faster than toenails, which is 3 millimeters versus 1 millimeter with toenails, right? So improvements will show quicker on your hands, and that's going to be quicker than your hair. So you got that to look forward to.
And who would have guessed that your fingernails grow quicker than your toenails?
I know, right? It was such a weird factoid, but I was like, huh, who knew?
Do you know what else is another factoid? Is that your nails are like the protectant over your nerve endings. So people who don't have toenails, or then they walk, it changes their gaunt. It changes how they walk. Like if they are losing nails on their toes, on their fingertips, it loses sensitivity. So your nails are actually a protectant over the nerve endings. And so where your nail comes out is actually where your cuticle is actually a protectant that seals in those nerve endings. So you want to kind of protect it.
Oh,
Interesting.
Huh?
Which is what Dr. Huberman says about the fingernail oil, cuticle oil, to put that on to protect it.
Oh yeah, that was a big recommendation.
Because you really don't want to take off the cuticles, like when you go to manicure and they take it all away. You really don't want to take off all that cuticle, because it really does protect it. But when it gets dry and brittle, it breaks and it snags and, it looks nasty. So you want to clean it all off. But that's why if you actually put the cuticle oil on your nails, then it will keep them moist and not breaking or brittle, so that you can leave your cuticles on and it actually protects your nails. And then as it forms, it's protected.
Yeah, that is so fascinating.
Random facts about hair and nails. We're all about that.
It is so interesting. The other thing that I didn't realize was how much scalp blood flow matters, right?
Yeah.
So like scalp massages can actually make a big difference, which is amazing. First of all, because they feel amazing. So just saying, if you need a scalp massage, if you love them, now you got a reason to do more of them. So
Yeah, for my friend Kendra's birthday, we all went to one of those hair scalp massage places, which I've never been before, but they washed like looked at it, they analyzed your hair, and then they gave you therapy on your hair and they washed and massaged it, and then they blew it out. It was like heaven. That is my love
oh,
language. Play with my hair. I
yeah.
loved it. I let my nieces and nephews play with my hair all the time because I just love all the stimulation.
And
And
they
now
do
I
love
can
to
say
do
it's
it.
science. It's getting blood flow through my scalp. So
That
keep
is
up the
so
health
true. Huh.
and fun.
I'm going to get one of those cool, like, scalp massagers, you know, the ones that you just like, I'll do it every day.
I actually have one.
Nice. Of course you do. Larissa with the glorious hair has all the tricks.
It just feels so good. It's like a massage.
It does. I don't know why I don't have one. Well, I'll tell you why. Because we get them. In fact, I get them as stocking stuffers, and then certain children in my house destroy them. That's why. So I bought multiple. I will buy another one, though.
All right. So basically, our biohack breakdown for hair, the everyday basics. This is what you need to write down. So your
Yes.
protein should be 80 to 100 grams a day, and you could get it from eggs, salmon, etc. And this is for keratin or protein building of your hair and nails. And then you need fats, so don't shy away from them. Omega-3s is pretty much like a lubricant glue for your hair, nails, for your joints, like for your skin. Like there's so many benefits of omega-3, so you need to make sure you overdo it on omega-3. And
Yep.
then this helps with hydration, shine, protecting the protein shaft of your hair, and it helps with anti-inflammation. Anti-inflammation. But Dr. Hyman and Dr. Sims talks about that greatly.
Yes.
And then the third thing is hydration and gentle care. Make sure you're doing your water intake. Make sure you do scalp massages to bring blood flow. Like Dr. Hyman is a huge advocate of that. And then just like we were saying, the cuticle oil, the cuticle oil for your nails, and then limit heat and chemicals on your hair because it does damage your hair. So if you could space it out, the further you could space it out between
treatments.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Between treatments, it would greatly help. And then of course, the building block of all biohacks is sleep. You have to sleep 7 to 9 hours a day. And this helps you de-stress and keep stress low. And it helps your cortisol disruption cycles be lower. So you want to make sure you have sleep. So let's rephrase that. Protein, fats, omega-3s, at least 1 to 6 grams a day, hydration and scalp massages, sleep at least 7 to 9 hours a day to help with your stress level.
And the thing to note is cortisol will disrupt growth cycles. So that is a key thing, that your hair, again, is just an indicator, and your nails, it's an indicator of, all these different health factors, including chronic stress. So that is an important thing for sure. And on top of your daily things, right? We were talking about the everyday basics. Let's talk about some bonus things you can potentially biohack for your hair and your nails. The first being collagen peptides, which we also talked about on our skin episode, 10 to 20 grams daily. And I think it was the hydrolyzed collagen peptides specifically. And then let's see, targeted supplements post-testing. Again, if you're doing some bonus biohacks, you want to optimize your hair and your nails, get your blood work done. Because if you're deficient in iron, if you're deficient in zinc, if you're actually deficient in biotin, right? You've got to specifically supplement what you're lacking because your hair and nails are telling you you're lacking something. And we just want to stress, focus on bioavailable forms because not all things available out there on the market are created equal. So you want to make sure you're getting a bioavailable form so that you're absorbing and not just wasting whatever you're taking. The next thing, focus on cycle syncing. So more fats and protein in your luteal phase, which is post-menopause.
You've been talking to me too much.
In your luteal phase, which is post-ovulation. And during this time, you can avoid prolonged fast. That's just one example of way that you can cycle sync to get the most out of your nutrition and to stress your body less, like all of our goals here. So that's an amazing thing that you can do. Creatine is another one, and this is really awesome. 3 to 5 grams per day, especially over the age of 45. This is something that can significantly help. So other than that, topicals that can be helpful, caffeine rinse. If you're experiencing hair loss, significant hair loss, minoxidil really does help. And that's something that you can see a doctor, and those things can be an escalation if you're having significant issues. That is a legitimate avenue to pursue. And the last thing we're going to mention here as far as bonus biohacks is red light therapy. Yet again, it comes through as an amazing biohack for your skin and your hair. So it really can help with your scalp health. And those lights penetrate into your skin and provide mitochondrial energy. They provide healing. They provide so many amazing things.
And then once again, your food is medicine. So make sure you prioritize your food, your hydration, your routines, and then your blood work to check your ferritin and thyroid levels and your biotin levels, because that really will, you either are great or not, and you can check that off and move on to the next hack or routine that might help your hair. And then again, what Malerie said, if it escalates, there are brands like Rogaine, which is a minoxidil that actually could be a foam or an oil, and you actually put on your scalp. But just be careful, because when you put it on your scalp, if it drips down, wherever it drips down, it could grow hair. So manage the dripping, because if it grows down like right here, you could have hair right here. So make sure it doesn't drip down to places you don't want hair, because then it's the opposite problem.
You can have really long sideburns if you wanted. It'd be cool.
Yeah, totally cool. That's exactly what I want. Another thing to shave.
Yeah, right.
And then also just a practical tip that Dr. Stacy Sims recommends highly over and over again is strength training. We need to make sure we're strength training at least 3 times a week. And as always, use microbiome friendly products.
Yep. There's a lot of things we can do, surprisingly more than I was expecting.
I know.
When I started this research.
I agree.
I was like, okay, well, we'll research this, but I think your hair kind of is what it is, right? It's just genetics. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, no, it is not.
It is what you eat.
You are what you eat. Okay, so I think we've got a couple of questions for the community. I think we got a little time. The first one is, let's see. My hair feels finer and less voluminous after starting a new workout routine. Is that normal? So the answer on this is it could be tied to increased sweat or stress. So you want to focus on recovery from your workout routine, right? Make sure you're not overstressing yourself. And then also focus on scalp care, because you could just be imbalancing your microbiome from your scalp, microbiome from, the extra sweat, or you want to be able to get good oxygen circulation to your follicles and things, right? So I would relook at those things.
And if you are working out, then I would make sure you are monitoring your protein intake.
Yes.
Because if you're working out, you might need more protein as you go through that.
Yep, absolutely. That is very true. Okay, next question. Does coloring my hair regularly make thinning worse?
The answer is not necessarily, but it does damage the outside external hair, so it can damage and weaken the shaft, and it can make it brittle. So if you really want shiny, healthy hair, it comes from internally, but what you do outside definitely is going to damage it. I would definitely use protectorants. Between chemical procedures, and try to extend the time out. But if you're blow drying your hair, there are heat sprays that you can spray on your hair before you blow dry it, or flat iron it or curl it, that protects the shaft. So there's definitely things out there that you can do that will help protect it, because I love a good curl and I love a good straightener, and we love our hair. So
I could talk hair care products all day. There are leave-in conditioners, there are heat protectants, there are pollutant protectants, there are hair oils. And I use a combination of all of those things every time I wash my hair. Because when you are chemically treating your hair, it becomes so much more fragile that you have to baby it. That's just a reality, right? So there's great products out there for protecting it. But like your hair really is the result of your previous life lived, right? Like it's always at 4 to 6 months in arrears, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we have to consider that we're treating our previous bad decisions, right? Or good. And you got to baby that stuff. So
that is so true. I am all about keeping it simple though. So I say keep it as simple as possible and use good products in the shower,
yes.
do dandruff shampoo once a week. And then I just spray a simple thing before I put heat on it. But I don't want to say less is more, but don't get caught up in the hype of all the marketing that you need all these products.
I do agree with that. My hair is just very blonde, so I have to do more than most people. There is a lot of hype and there's a lot of marketing. So do your research because you don't want to do too much. You don't need to do everything. You just need to figure out what helps you with your hair texture and your shine and, the things that you're looking to achieve with your hair.
And speaking of shine, one of our listeners asked, any quick wins for shining your hair without changing my diet much? And so obviously what Malerie had said with Dr. Huberman was the scalp massages. So massage your massage your scalp and get the blood flowing to your head. And then omega-3, boost yourself up with omega-3s, take an extra omega-3 or 2 a day and get that going for shine. And then make sure you drink lots of water. Hydration helps so much. So make sure you keep yourself hydrated, take your omega-3s, and then give your head a good scalp massage to make it shinier.
Yeah. Yep. That's really the 3-pack that can make a big difference. But I mean, obviously we're going to say, look at your diet too, because protein is huge for this, but I wish it happened faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish you saw the results faster.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So another question from our community is I've noticed more white spots on my nails since going plant-based. Any thoughts? And so this is interesting because there's a lot of people who are plant-based. And so if you do have white spots on your nails, this can often lead to zinc or protein related issues. So check both of those and then maybe add seeds and nuts to your diet to make sure you're getting enough protein in your diet.
Yeah. And if you're noticing white spots, I would say definitely get your levels tested because it'll tell you right away what it is.
Yeah. Whether you want to know it or not, it will tell you.
Yep. We all been there.
All right. So our key takeaways today is your hair and nails are honest indicators of your body. So thinning up to 40% of women by 50 or brittleness 20 to 27% of your nails are often signals of fixable nutrient or hormone or stress gaps. So act early for your best results.
Yes, and hormones drive much of this for women. So shifts aren't decline, they're signals for smarter support.
Start with foundations, like be consistent with your protein, 80 to 100 grams of protein, and then obviously the omega-3s, hydration, sleep, and your gentle care. These deliver the biggest everyday impacts for your hair.
That's very true. And layer in bonuses wisely. So as you consider more of the extra hacks you can do, collagen, creatine, blood flow tools, testing before supplements, start slow, right? And build, combine for compounded gains, of course. But do this wisely.
And it is sustainable. It's going to help you live a very healthy life. So expect gradual wins as you make these changes. Because remember, it takes 4 to 6 months to see any change as you tweak things. So it's gradual wins. Look at your nails for the quickest
Right.
win, and then your toenails, and then your hair. Look for your baby hair. And I would recommend taking pictures. Take pictures maybe once a month, just so you in areas that you're worried about, just so you can really track progress, because that helps you stay motivated and it validates and gives you evidence or proof that what you're doing is working, and that might motivate you in the future. I know it motivates me. So that's what I would recommend doing. And make sure you remember that you're investing in a long-term vitality of your hair and nails, and even your internal body. Because if you can make your hair and nails look good, that's a signal that your biomes on the inside are also working well.
That you're rocking and rolling on the inside, which is what we want.
Yes, we do. That's what we want forever and ever. We want to be 80 with great hair.
That is so true. That's my goal. Strong 80-year-old freaking hot boss lady with glorious hair. That's it. All right, ladies, remember, our mission is simple. We want to help you to truly know your body and take ownership of your health, one biohack at a time. Our own family health curveballs have pushed us deep into this journey, and wow, what we've learned has changed everything. Now we're here to share with us as many women as possible. If this episode lit a spark for you or made you think of an incredible woman in your life, please share it, hit like, spread the glow, and bring some real health inspiration to the women in your life. Feel free to tag us on any social media platform, My Wellness Rewired. We're in this together, learning and growing every step of the way. Don't forget that we regularly offer free PDF guides and worksheets. Check out our blog at mywellnessrewired.com/blog, and you can sign up for freebies by topic on our blog. So thanks again for listening in with us. We love to hear new topic requests. So if there's anything that you would love to learn more about or have us dig into for you, check out our contact us page. Again, mywellnessrewired.com/contact. You can fill out a request and we will be happy to take a look and get it on our schedule. And until next time. I always do that whenever I'm about to do something. Are you ready?
Got to do our breathing.
Oh, my nose is too stuffy.
Improving your hair nails. And just a quick over.
Sorry, you said nasal. I was like,
are you surprised?
No. I just had to make fun of you for it.
All right. Now that's all I can think about is nasal.
Sorry.
Hair, nails, nasal, same.
So there's hair in your nose. It counts.
All right, you wellness rock stars. That's a wrap on this episode of My Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. We've had a blast dishing out the hacks and laughs, but hold up, let's keep it real.
Yep, we are not doctors. We are just sharing our biohacking adventures and learning right alongside you. Nothing we say is medical advice, so always check with your healthcare provider before trying any new wellness tricks.
Absolutely. This podcast is all about inspiration and entertainment, not prescriptions. So join our Facebook group for more sassy wellness vibes. Catch you next time.